my move into a six-figure remote opportunity was not dramatic, right? And I've gotten a couple of questions about how it happened and my thoughts on kind of the person who is maybe in that 80 to 90 space and feels stuck. So let's talk about it today. If we haven't met already, I am Christina, talent strategist and career coach, and really have spent the past several years introducing professionals to high paying remote opportunities. So, if this is something you are interested in hearing more about from a talent acquisition and HR expert, certainly hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Um, it's a snow day today, y'all. So I have time. Let's talk a little bit about the story. I think it's interesting kind of how it came about, but what I learned about myself is probably the more interesting part. So I'm in this role earning $90,000 and thinking about kind of what my next steps look like. I had a conversation with someone, right? It was so interesting how it happened because prior to this, I don't think I'd talked to anyone on the team about compensation and what we were earning. But I had a conversation with someone and they were like, well, Christina, you shouldn't be making that because I'm making fill in the blank and I don't have a master's. I don't have my HR certifications. So there's no way you are making what you are making. Um, yeah, like you've got to ask for more. Nothing less than 115. So that y'all triggered the jump from 90,000 to 115 and my salary. Remote for sure, but that is what did it. It was like, girl, are you serious? She didn't use those words, but yeah, it took someone else to open my eyes to all that I had accomplished. Um, some of which I'd accomplished during my time in that position, but all that I had accomplished, um, the way in which I did my job and how good I was, the way in which I managed projects, my relationships with key stakeholders, and how amazing that was. It took someone to say, Christina, you better not accept a salary less than X ever again. And she meant it. And I never did after that. So going forward, I realized that, first of all, I was underpaid. Part of that, well, I think there are multiple reasons for that, right? I didn't always negotiate my compensation. Okay. I wasn't always comfortable with asking if there was room for negotiation. I wasn't always comfortable with, or let me not even just say comfortable with. I think part of it is that I hadn't done enough research on the current market rate, the current pay rate, salary range for those roles because I'd been in it. It's just kind of what I did. I didn't do any research on what those roles were currently paying. And I was just kind of going off what I'd historically earned. We shoot ourselves in the foot when we do that, by the way. Um, and so having a conversation with a peer in your space is so valuable. Of course, looking at the glass doors of the world, right? That's also important, but having the conversation with someone to say, like, what's the going range? Looking at job descriptions, looking at job postings for competitors. Okay, this is what they're paying, right? Where do I fall in this? How much experience do I have in relation to what they are looking for that would position me to negotiate a salary? I hadn't done all that in the past, which is why I strongly recommend it, not just for my clients, but anyone who is listening to me at this point. Like, do your research, know what the market pays, and how your experience relates to that range. Your not just experience, but education, any additional certifications, how all of that fits in. And that, my friend, leads to the confidence you need to actually negotiate your next salary. So, yes, I had to negotiate my next salary. They did not want to offer 115 to me initially. And I was like, yeah, that's the best I can do for me. I'm like, that's the best I can do. I really can't go any lower than this. My hope is that we can make it work. And we made it work. We made it work. We made it work not just for that position, but for the next position. Like that person who showed me what I hadn't taken the time to see on my own, um, yeah, changed the whole game for me. And here's what I want so many of you to realize in terms of what I'm saying. This change from 90 to 115 didn't require a new title. This change from 90 to 115 didn't require longer hours, right? At all. Same hours. This change from 90 to 115 wasn't about luck either. Like, hear me and hear me clearly. It wasn't about luck. So, whatever, I'm talking specifically about my jump into six figures, but this may look different for you. So, maybe for you, it's what does your jump from 70 to 95K look like, right? What does your jump from 120 to 150 look like? And do you have the confidence that you deserve more, right? Has someone had a conversation with you? Have you done your research? Are you looking at job postings? Are you clear on what the market actually pays now for someone at your level? Please understand what I'm saying. Someone at your level. So don't look at a job description for a role that requires 3 years of experience, 5 years of experience, and you have 20. All right, let's get a little closer to 20. What does that experience pay, right? Are people in this same role, this same title with that level of experience, or have they moved on to maybe a different role, a different title to command additional compensation? Like, I want more of us to start doing our research. So I don't know what this looks like for you, but I'm saying this because I hope it triggers something in you to want to do more research. I hope it triggers something in you to want to have more conversations around salary range, transparent conversations around where you are now, what you bring to the table, and what all of that combined, that education, that experience, all of it. And please understand, I'm not referring specifically to a degree when I say education, but what all of that combined means and the value that would add to an organization, right? And then you go in and you say, okay, this is my range. You've done your research. You know what competitors are paying. Here's the thing, and I've mentioned this before. I am team pay transparency all day, every day. I wish every organization um, was very clear about their pay ranges upfront, their hiring ranges, their salary ranges, whatever. Um, I wish they were, but they're not. And so the more research you do, the better. Look at the competitors, right? Look at other organizations in the industry. Some of them will likely disclose their hiring ranges or their salary ranges. Um, Look at that information and then determine where you should land. And the other thing I'll say is always speak in terms of a range and never speak in terms of where you are now. I'm saying this because I've had to point this out to individuals multiple times, right? if we're talking salary range, you should be talking salary range, right? I'm not asking what you earn now, and you should not tell me what you earn now, because there's a chance, especially if you are a woman, especially if you are a Black woman, that you are grossly underpaid. There is a chance that you are grossly underpaid. Okay? So where you start in your incremental increases, that 2-3% bump every year, if you get that, that is not an indicator of what you should earn going into your next role. I hope that's making sense. And it's important that you exercise the muscle of negotiation, because where you start determines that level of progress. All right, so I could keep talking about this until I'm blue in the face. I think what I will say is that it was another professional who got me unstuck. It was a conversation I had with someone who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself that got me unstuck. And 90,000, let me be clear too, is not stuck. It's not stuck. Um, but the jump from 90 to 115, I had room to breathe. And I want that room to breathe. I want that space to breathe for you as well, right? Again, your jump may look like 70 to 95 or 100. Who knows, right? But take some time and do your research. Of course, if you need support in that, I am here. I will speak to you from my own experience, and then also, of course, what I see as a talent acquisition expert, and also what I see in my work with clients. I'll pop the link below for you to put some time on my calendar for a clarity session. My hope is that if this resonates, you will go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It will signal to the algorithm that you want to see more of this content. My hope is that you also like this video. Of course, comment below if you found value in it or have any questions. I do not coach in the comment section. That I do not do. I do not coach in the comment section. But certainly feel free to share your thoughts below. I think beyond that, feel free to share this with a friend who you believe may need this guidance. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and of course, I look forward to seeing you soon.